Board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this morning with a little bit of singing, and hey, here today it's gonna be my first ever Let's Play. I'm gonna play a game, Imperial Settlers Roll and Write. It is a game that doesn't involve a fight. It's a game that involves peaceful farming and resource gathering and engine building. I will tell you about this game. I've played it 8 times, and this might be number 9. This will be the first Let's Play of mine. Anyway, board games and playing Imperial Settlers Roll and Write is what we're talking about. Board games and Imperial Settlers Roll and Write. I'm not gonna shout. Hello and good morning, and I hope that everyone is generally doing okay. So yeah, this is game. Oh, hello, Alex. It's really good to see you. I was worried for a moment that no one was going to pop in, because I know that you all warned me that this wouldn't be of interest to you. But hopefully for the first one, a couple of folk will pop in to kind of give some support. But yes, it is lovely to have you. And thank you. Hello, Michael. Lovely to see you. Because when I asked if other people wanted to see it, and then, yeah, Alex and Xate pointed out that, oh, wow, this is amazing. There's so many people already. Good morning, Yellow Pigeon. I don't know who you are. I think you're the one person, but I recognize the name. It's like lovely to see. Oh, man, and Xate even came in. I thought you weren't going to come, Xate, because I'm so happy. Oh, thank you everyone for popping in. And so this is the BEZZY BATHTIME board game BLETHER. I am Bez. BATHTIME is in your hearts. It doesn't matter what time it is. It's just a ridiculous name. And we are blethering about board games. I'm blethering about a particular board game as I play it. And so, yeah, that is the way that it's going to happen today. Idle Michael is here and I stalk him. It says, oops, did I type that out loud? No stalking allowed. You too. But anyway, coming up today, I am playing this game. I will talk about it. I will talk about what I'm thinking about it as I'm playing it. I'll just tell you, like, full disclosure, I got this game on discount back at around the start of the year when we were going into lockdown. I bought this game mainly because of the solo mode. I know that, for the solo mode, there's 48 unique sheets, which I thought, hey, that's a really interesting thing. So inspired by Keyforge, Ignacy Trzewiczek did a wee thing, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to check this out, see what it's like. I've played it 8 times. At this point, I'm basically playing more through bloody mindedness, is the truth. So that kind of tells you my opinion on the game. But, you've never played a roll and write. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I mean, and of course, on Tuesdays, like for the past 3 weeks, when we've been doing this is basically a flip and write. I mean, a roll and write just means that you make permanent marks on paper, and it's some sort of randomization. And then I think that the most common ones, I mean, obviously Ganz Schon Clever is a really well-known one for being all about maths, and that's very mathy, and there's not much theme in there. But then there's Railroad Inc., which is one that I really love because it's quite simple, but I just love how it kind of has a theme, like, okay, you're having these tracks and it makes sort of some sort of thematic sense. I'll get into Imperial Settlers and talk about it a bit more later on. But yeah, so let's talk about Brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant? I don't think I've ever talked about my fingers. I mean, fingers are pretty darn brilliant. It's not just about your hands, it's like your fingers. I mean, oh my gosh, like just the way you can manipulate the fingers and like run them through your hair or pick up things, like how dexterous are your fingers? And like the fact that, you know, talking about rolling rights, the fact that I can pick up a pen and, you know, write with my fingers. I mean, there's amazing motor control in our fingers. And I just think, you know, don't take your fingers for granted is all I'm saying. You know, fingers are amazing. So fingers are brilliant. Are you, are you talking to me, Alex? I did have a tiny bit of fruit juice this morning. So yeah, and I'll be having a bit more fruit juice as we go on. So yeah, fingers are awesome. I think we're all agreed there. So anyway, let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. So I did play one game, which also Prey and Alex and Tom Cauldron also played along with. So this was my first one. It was a good score. It was 16. And so you can see I got the perfect balance. I used all my letters. Starting up with one letter, you need to write letters going left and going right. Where's my L deck? Is it? Here it is. And so for those who don't know, you have two letters on each card. You choose a letter, and then so I ended up with fog, gab, bestow, woad, distort, and am. I was very proud of that game. Well, not very proud. I mean, 16 is... But this one was a wee bit of a disappointment because obviously I've played it quite a bit before. I did far, listen, knit, and then I was so hoping for elastic, but it didn't quite work. And Tom Cauldron pointed out I could have done lattes, but I didn't notice it. So I dropped a point there. Then I have so and ah. Anyway, so you score your second longest word and your second longest side. I think that Tom won the second game. But anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed it. And then it was lovely having everyone around and people seemed to get on with that. And Alex was so close to getting Destiny herrings. And talking about brilliant things, you know, Sate baked banana breads yesterday. Very nice. That sounds awesome. And so, yeah, enjoy your banana bread. What else have I enjoyed recently? I enjoyed a bit of a walk. I made myself a nice meal. I got, yeah, and all this morning I saw Chris, which was lovely. So, yeah, and hello, Nicholas. And I am just going on to the questionably quick questions, which I am going to give you about 2 minutes to type in any questions that you might have for me. So literally any questions. You can ask me about well, you know, respectful question. You know where the line is. So ask me about board game design, about, you know, what you should eat. If you want me to make a decision for you, then I will do that. If you want to ask me a silly question, go for it. I will ask myself a question. Which is my favorite mead? The question that no one asks, which is my favorite mead? My favorite mead is probably, I like a spicy mead. I like the sweetness offset with spiciness. And Michael asks, how are my teeth doing? For those who don't know, I had some, I still have some toothache. Apparently it's infected down at the root. I need to either, so I can either have it extracted, which could be done right now as an emergency on the NHS, which I'm really blessed to live in a country where we have this sort of social health care, or I could try to save it. But then if I try to save it, I'm not sure how much it would cost. But what I do know is that they wouldn't do it as an emergency. They would only kind of do a little bit of the preparation to keep me going until hopefully I can get a dentist, you know, to take me on within a couple of months. But yeah, like, I mean, the earliest that I've been able to find a dentist is that they've said, yeah, anyway, so that's honestly like a difficult decision. Do I get it extracted, or do I get them to just give me some more drugs and yeah, do a bit of cleaning? I don't properly understand the second technique, and honestly, not understanding it is adding to my anxiety. But then ultimately, the second option would lead to root canal treatment and a crown. So that is my thing. So yep, I still don't know what to do there. So opinions are, I'm probably not going to act on the opinions of other people, but input is welcome. Like, I don't want you to tell me what to do, just input. Or yeah, I really need to, I might actually get Chris to help me find someone today. Yeah, that would be a good thing to do. That feels like a worthwhile thing to just devote a good few hours to making sure that I have a dentist as a backup thing, even for those few months before I head off to Thailand. Anyway, that is that. So Nicholas asks, which is your third favorite lizard? I do not even know what my first favorite lizard is. I mean, I guess, okay, the ones that come to my mind, Kodomo dragon, Kodomo, those big ones. I like alligators and crocodiles. I think alligators are, I don't even properly know the difference. This is how ignorant I am regarding lizards. I'm really showing myself in a bad light right now. But yeah, I have no idea regarding lizards. I do, chameleons. Oh, okay, chameleons. Okay, so let's go with those three. Which ones are my favorites? Those are the three that come to my mind. I'm going to go, the chameleon is my favorite just because it's really cool, like kind of being able to change its color and everything. Second would maybe be the dragon, and third is the alligator. Let's go with number 3 is the alligator. I will go with this question first, and I would rather have an infinite supply of hummus, assuming that the hummus is maintained in a fresh manner, because basically I don't tend to use toothpicks, whereas I do use hummus. I just find toothpicks, like the idea of getting in with something so hard, it feels weird to me. Whereas hummus, especially if if it's good quality hummus and if it's going to stay fresh, I don't want vats of hummus in my fridge. I just want to be able to reach out and to get a delivery of hummus occasionally. And yeah, the final question. Okay, I'm going to just keep going until there's no more questions. So what do you do when your game is okay but you want to push it on? So when your game is okay but not great. Look, sometimes you've got to kind of think, what's the potential ceiling of this game? Do you know what I mean? And this isn't something that you will always intuitively know. And for sure, sometimes I've been surprised and then I play something and it's like, whoa, this is more fun. And that's the point of playtesting, that you, have that you try something and you see, is this fun? Is it not fun? Let's try it and let's see. And so I think that part of it is, once you've got an idea of, okay, what is the key part of this game? Let's imagine the best possible version of this game. Let's imagine the game is all perfectly balanced, and what could work in here? Because if it's just a case of balancing numbers and refining things and, tweaking things, then it's all super easy. But all too often, it needs that sort of leap of that flash of inspiration. I'm not going to say that a game comes in a flash of inspiration, but for sure, kind of maybe reading through books and saying, okay, what other games have gone on here? Let's say I've got a game all about matching things in a weird way, and then I might be thinking, okay, how are other games matching things? What are they matching identical things? I've got a game where you're kind of trying to make sure that it's a sequence of things, that it can be slightly different with. And then maybe you look, if you've got, maybe you read through a whole bunch of ways that stock markets work, and then maybe one of them inspires you. Or maybe I might do a bit of reading on, if my game is about lizards, then maybe I should actually do some more reading about those dragons and alligators and crocodiles and the differences, and maybe something about their breeding grounds. Maybe I watch a video about, you know, it's like sometimes you've just got to shelf it. And then if the game is languishing at, let's say this is the range of, okay, let's say this is the range of, okay, how your game is, I would rather, there's no appreciable difference between playing this game and having absolutely nothing to do. And this is, okay, some entertainment, and this is like the most amazing game ever. Let's say this is like a game that's worth publishing, right? And then you've got this game and it's like here, and then you play test and it keeps growing up, and then eventually it kind of stops. And then you're like, okay, am I kind of on track to make it better, or do I have to? I mean, this is such a big question, but yeah, it feels like you want to. Sometimes it depends so much on the game. That's it. Like, it depends. It's a rubbish answer, but if your game is on track to kind of keep on creeping up and eventually get really good and be worth publishing, then keep on at it. If you, and just keep it on, keep on iterating, keep on showing it off to people. Maybe you'll get some inspiration just from watching it played, and then keep on iterating, and eventually it'll be better. But if your game's like languishing down here, and it's like, well, then maybe just, if it's been staying at the same level of quality for quite a while, then maybe put it on the shelf, maybe come back to it. Otherwise, maybe do some research to see if you can get some inspiration, or maybe just do something different for a while. I guess those are the three things: kind of sit on it, do some active research, or just carry on iterating. Would I find it worse to be only able to use odd numbers, or to only be able to spell if I write words from last letter to first? I think that long term, if I had to choose one, it would be the latter, because the latter adds a massive difficulty to everything I'm doing. But the former means that, I mean, I guess it depends what you mean by only using odd numbers. I mean, that would really put a hamper on any game design. I mean, I think that the numbers 1 and 3 are pretty valuable, or -1 indeed. I mean, yeah. Whereas if maybe I could even, I don't know what kind of evil witch is casting this spell, but maybe if I get someone else to write stuff for me. My current wallpaper on my computer, I think it might be the default. This is really boring. I'm actually going to close calendar, close the thing, close the notes, close that, close. Oh yeah, it is just a default thing. So I have not changed it for a year. There we go. Wow. And now I need to get my. So yeah, I barely look at my wallpaper on my computer. If I could spend a day as a plant, it would be maybe like Venus flytrap or something. I don't know. It feels like at least it's got that bit of movement. That might be interesting. Oh, if I had to give control of Stuff by Bez to someone else for a week, who would I trust with it? Chris? Yeah, probably Chris. And oh wait, it's only able to use odd numbers. Sorry, I completely misread that. I thought it was not be like, okay, so that's not, wait, are we counting? So is 0 presumably doesn't count as odd? Oof. Yeah, I think my answer's still the same. But yeah, I like Michael's. Can I have 3 minus 1 biscuits, please? Oh, hello, Elaine. Lovely to see you. And yes, everything becomes maths. And yep, it is just a questionably quick questions. This is totally true. So you can ask me anything until I run out of things. Yay, Hal, Default Wallpaper Club. And it's lovely to see you, Hal. And Yellow Pigeon, yeah, they are tough questions, aren't they? And Sate says, yes, indeed, I couldn't write most addresses if I couldn't use even numbers. So that is, I guess, the end of the questionably quick questions. Wow, that was oof. I would assume not. I feel like that would be cheating. I can't just write TWO. That's, yeah. I mean, if I can't even use them, I'm assuming that I have this mental block in my mind where I'm trying to think, okay, how many players are there for this game? Okay, it's, it's me and Chris playing. Okay, well, how many is that? Oh my gosh, I can't even work this out. Well, okay, McCall comes as well. Okay, it's 3. That's easy. Okay, it's just me. Okay, it's 1. But oh my God, there's some number in between, and it's just like my brain has this eerie thing. Whereas, yeah, I'm imagining they can't be written, spoken, or thought about. That's what I'm imagining. So anyway, a typical day recently. If anyone wants to share anything that's happened to them, because I see we've got a couple new people, and do you want to share your recent highlights? My day has not been super exciting, honestly. Pain has been coming back, and I am making sure to brush my teeth at least 2, maybe 3 times a day, and I've maybe not done enough of the salt water as I should, but I'm going to make sure to use the salt water a little bit more. And yeah, I'm trying to get out for a walk, at least 4-ish. I've started this. I don't feel like you want to hear about my typical day every week, so let's just move into it. Comment, ask questions, follow, sign up to my Discord, where you can join in the cat chat or whatever, and we are starting the main section. It's not really a topic, where I am going to be playing Imperial Settlers Roll and Write. Oh, thank you very much for the love. That is lovely. And so, yeah. Oh, one last thing. Sate found out that Board Game Blitz is doing a Thanksgiving long stream. It doesn't start till 8 p.m, but it means that Sate will have a sort of party thing on the anniversary of the worst day of Sate's life, rather than being alone. Lots of love, and yeah, if we can get some love hearts to all the people who have affiliation with America, who maybe are going to be alone this Thanksgiving. I mean, I think Thanksgiving's tomorrow, right? And so, yeah. Let's get started, and I am just going to add on my special camera, which is also known as my mobile phone, and let's get stuck into this. So sorry about you can see how all the magic happens. It's this. Wait, need to actually enter the broadcast studio and plug this in. So there's no audio coming out of it. Mute the mic, so it comes in that way, and there we go. This is the camera that you're going to see, and maybe I will move this water over here and this water. Okay. Right. Okay, so let's get started. Oh. And to clarify, Ambi is doing that thing at 7 p.m. UK time. And yeah, Crystal and Ambi are excellent people. I agree. And Yeah, that's true. Even when some people are talking about sad stuff, it can make you feel better because it's like, oh, we're kind of at least together. It's not as if, okay, I'm going to lift this up a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so Imperial Settlers is a game. It's a kind of vaguely Euro engine builder, lots of cards. I also got Empires of the North, which is a reimagining of that, and this is the roll and write version of it. So there's all these sheets. It is by Ignacy Trzewiczek, and it's for 1 to 4 players. I have only played it 1 player, and so this is what you get in the box. Not this. I put this pen in here. But you've got some rules, which are, yeah, the rules are adequate. I managed to work out all the rules. You've got this die, which I really hate. I'm going to get into this. Yeah, just like this is. I just can't get over how much I hate this die, and I was actually not sure whether to use the rules as written or just house rule it, because every turn you roll a die and then it tells you how many actions you can take. So it's like I could go the entire game and just roll 3s, or I could go the entire game and just roll 5s. And then, if I end up scoring 60 on one game and 80 on the other game, well, maybe that's just because I've got some fewer actions. I mean, for goodness sake, why have this kind of variance in a solo game? Like, it feels like there's enough variance anyway in the other dice. Where's the other dice? So here's some resourcey dice, which give you wood. This is gold, which is the best because it's a wild card. There's the food, there's the stone. And so, yeah, I know what they're doing with that. These are the special buildings. Every single game, it's completely different. And so, yep, you're meant to flick through and work through these one at a time. And I'm not sure if there's any actual sense of progression on these, but it's just like each time it's a little bit different. You roll this once every turn. There's 10 turns during the game. So this is the... These are the pencils. You get 4 pencils with the game, but I just think that they're a bit hard. And so it's not... yeah, clear enough when you're using pencils, which is why I keep this fine pen in the box. Here's some things that I went with recently, and yep, I will. And here are the special actions that you're meant to pick one of these each turn in general. Yeah. So each turn, to give you a very quick overview of what will be happening here. Oh yeah, and that's their catalog. Chuck that into the box. This is the rules. Played it enough. I've played it like 8 times, and this is in case I keep my sprues for some reason, maybe because I find it fun to occasionally go like that. Ooh. This is honestly the way that I use sprues the most, just kind of yeah, spinning them for like a bit of fun. Let me see. Okay. Sate says, we played this on Mark Peebles a few times. I tried it once, thought meh, and then just opted to chat when they played the other times. Yeah, if it wasn't always varied, I probably would not be playing it again. Nicholas says, we'll collectively work on it each year to outweigh the memories in some small way. Give us time and that will add up. That's so true. Like, if you start off with going back to people having a bad day in their life, if you hopefully, I'm not going to say that it ever becomes like a good day, but hopefully time will heal. And yeah. Oops. And yep. Just the scratchy pencils, it's just felt... Yeah, I don't know. If you're giving out pencils, then make them good pencils. So I will say that that game by Gilhova, formerly known as Prolix, now Wordsy, that's the one. So Wordsy, that has good pencils in it. I'm all over that. And if you've got dry erase boards, yeah, for sure you want dry erase markers. But I could sort of see, like, Roll and Write, if they said, you know, no pencils included, I would be okay with that. Because if you just can't see the pencil marks on this blue page, what's up with that? And Idol Michael is encouraging people to do just ridiculous things like stealing cows, setting it free in the town, feeding it some chips. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And Nicholas says they keep them for the shapes, using some of their trash frames of pop-outs for photo frames. So that sounds good. And yeah, but yeah, maybe not stealing a cow. We'll come up with a better idea for Xate. And Michael says you can have good pencils or you can have cheap pencils. Never both. That is true. And I will say that, yeah, maybe let's not get into the whole concept of how to use a pen. You know what? We should. I wonder who I know who I could get to come on. I mean, I know Gilhova wouldn't come on in the morning, but for sure, if I was doing a special episode just about pencils and games, that's something that would be fun to talk about. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's just production waste. I agree with this. This is what I don't like. Like, I don't like the whole I don't like the whole, okay, let's add on minis, let's add on this, let's add on the other. It just feels like we're adding too much to every single game. And I'm not advocating for a return to cheap-ass games where you need to use money from other games, but I am suggesting that if it's like, okay, good pencils, you need to spend money on them, well then maybe don't include pencils in this particular game and say you need to bring your own pencils. And that is okay. But yeah, let's get on with the game. Anyway, so this is just for the multiplayer game where everyone has the same thing. We don't need that. To start off, actually, I am going to just refer to this very quickly. To set up, we choose these, and then we are meant to choose 3 of them randomly. So I hope I get the best ones. Like, honestly, but I just feel like there's enough variance in here, and I don't need the variance from here, and the variance from choosing randomly here. And I guess what I'm discovering about myself as a gamer is that I'm not a fan of high variance games. And so, yeah. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and these 2 go back in the box, and those 3 that I got, boom, ally. I'm excited about that. That's a really good one. That gives you 1 extra action if you choose it. That's definitely one of the best. Okay, yield, that's a good one where you choose something on a resource die and then you get to harvest more. I'll talk about that. And boon. Okay, that's not as... So just to show you what we could have got, Lucky Coin is a strictly better version of boon. So Lucky Coin is basically giving you a wild card, i.e. the coin, whereas boon is just giving you one of the resources that you happen to roll. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that I'm going to score better if I had that, but, you know, it definitely... And I'm glad that I didn't get this one because export, this just seems like spending your resources for 1 point. It feels like you've generally got enough ways to get points. I don't know. Anyway, that is... I don't know, I guess you're not going to be able to shut me up about this game as I go through it. So, what are you doing each turn? Each turn, I'm going to be rolling a die, which determines how many actions I've got. I'm rolling these dice, which determines how many starting resources I've got. And then I use these dice to either each time I cross off a square, that is one of my actions. And if I cross off a square with things in it, so if I cross off this square, then I need to have 1 stone. If I cross off this square, then I need to have 2 wood. And bear in mind that here, the track that you go along has multiple food. Can I zoom into the paper, says Xate? Is this better? Is that better? And let me know. Meanwhile, Alex says, yeah, maybe people should be fine with providing their own pencils, but I guess it would be annoying if you forgot you had to when taking it to game night. And I will just tell you about this before I tell you about the special buildings, but I just wanted to make sure that it was in focus. Ooh. Yeah, you also need a pencil sharpener in the box, and yeah. Anyway. So how do you get points? Stars are points. So if I were to tick off all these, the number of stars is the number of points I get for having reached there. So 23, 18, 21, 19 is the best possible thing. You can see my last game where I got, here's one that I did earlier. The game doesn't tell you anything about how you mark stuff off here. You're kind of just making sure that you use all your resources, and then you're making shapes around these houses because you make shapes to mark off these things. And yeah, let me take us back. Sorry about this shaky cam. And so you add up these points. You add up points from these buildings, which give you special ways to score, and then you might get some points during the game. Here is where you get to harvest extra resources. So once you've unlocked these two, which is just an action, then in future, you can harvest a whole bunch of things. And if you go through by using the wood in space 2, stone in space 6, and then these things, you get access to that, and then you get more actions. And obviously, yield is the best way to do it, because the one thing that you can never get more of really is the actions, because the resources you can always turn actions into resources via this method, but you can't turn resources into actions. So actions are clearly the more valuable thing. Now let's see what we've got going on. So with these buildings, I can't, the text doesn't seem that big to me. I don't know if you can read that, but it says, if the worker die shows a 3 or a 5, okay, so this one you actually need to use the worker die, then you may spend one action to gain 1 victory point. Harvest any number of stone to gain 1 victory point. So it's not that you need to turn the stone into the victory point, you just harvest it. Build spending at least 3 stone to gain 1 victory point. The stone cutter, on the other hand, just gives you 1 stone automatically. Engineers, oh, nice. So 4 victory points for every square that you've kind of managed to construct. So for those who don't know this so-called advanced bit, you have to knock off things that then allow you to construct a little 2x2 square in your village. Here, warehouses, if you cross off all these, you get 4 victory points. If you cross off all these, you get another 4 victory points. And so in order to activate these buildings, you'll have to cross off these little resources. So I'm thinking, okay, stone cutter, get some stone to make stone. I mean, that's how I get my engine going. That's going to be pretty good to if I want to harvest stone later in the game. Ooh, how often will I actually build using at least 3 stone? Because this is the critical parts of the game. How do I sort of, yeah, which ones do I do? Which ones do I not do? Because you can't do everything. That's the key thing. I think that Sculptor's Workshop is not going to be one that I go for. Colossus, harvest any number of stones to gain 1 victory point. And then the key thing, remembering, is that if you build this little shape, you get to increase these numbers by 1. So I could make this shape and then start gaining 2 stone, or gaining 2 victory points, or whatever. In, out, shake it all about. This isn't a hokey cokey, but hopefully it's sort of, that's a good thing. And I will put these here, and just bearing in mind, maybe I should zoom out. Let's see, a bit like that, so that you can see these as well. Okay. And boom, 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 boom. No, sorry about this. I wish maybe I should. This is the shortcoming of StreamYard, that I can't get this camera to be even bigger. If I could, I mean, I could make it the solo layout, but then you wouldn't be able to see me, and I don't know. Anyway, let's just start off, and let's see what I get to roll. Okay, 4 actions: stone, food, and wood. Okay. So I don't even have the option of going for the stone cutter. I feel like, you know, early on in the game, I want to get stuff on here. So I like to make a little note. So I've got a food, a wood, and a stone, just to remember what I actually had access to. And then I tick them off as I've done my 4 actions. Okay, so maybe so the only point of these tracks is really just for the ending victory points. Maybe if I try to start off with the stone cutter, so I'm definitely using that for my stone. Then my food, I guess I'm just going to do the obvious thing of going here and crossing off this little box. With the wood, what do I do? Maybe if I go here, that's not harvesting, but is that even worth it? Oh, maybe I just cross off one of these little woods for later in the warehouses. And with my 4th action, I'm going to cross off this. Okay, so there we go. That is my first turn out of 10. And as my bonus action, I'm going to choose the ally to do a extra crossy off here. So now I have access to here if I want to start harvesting stuff, but really I think I probably want to leave it a little bit longer. And hold this village. Imperial Yogi Roland Wright suggests people in chat. Hold this village touching your left eyebrow. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I could get the stone cutter, so I'm definitely let me do this so I remembered that. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to use the ally, but let's wait a minute. I did that to cross off there. I'm going to use one of my actions to cross off there. Maybe now I want to start thinking about making this shape, but I can't quite do it. Oh, I could use the boon to choose choose a result and get +1 of that. So maybe I start up here to try and start making this shape to increase the efficiency. So I start gaining 2 stone rather than just the 1. And then, I just 1. I think I might have messed up. Okay, so 1 stone, 2 actions, 3 actions, and I've only got 1 left. I really should have taken the ally again, although I am going to be getting more stone. I don't know. Anyway, so that is it. I let one resource go to waste. But we will see what happens. Turn 3. Gold. Oh, that's clearly the best. Gold is like a wild card. And food and sticks and stones. Sticks and stones will not break the bones because they are awesome. Okay, and I've only got 3 actions this time. Okay, maybe with my stone, I could start building the barracks to turn actions into victory points. I'm not quite sure how efficient that is. I quite like the sound of getting more stone cutters. I could cross off 1, 2. I do definitely want to grow up here, so I could go 1 for there and then grab another stone stick and go there, and then that would be 2, and then with my food I guess I would be going here. I don't know, or maybe I use double stone. Could I go with double stone? Yeah, if I use boon to choose a result on a resource die and gain +1. So I'm going to gain +1 special coin. So, and I'll scribble them off and the stone to go 1, 2 actions. And then, yeah, that's free. That is all I've managed to do my second turn. Oh, well, lovely to see you, and bye for now, Elaine. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And yeah, I hope that you manage to do something fun yourself. So yeah, shaky dice. We're going to shake them twice. Not this time, but this time, because I said we're going to roll them twice, just for the fun of. Whoa! Check that out. What's up with? Okay, well, I guess I get 5 actions. That's very lucky. So I have 2 coins and a bit of wood and a bit of stone, thanks to my stone cutter. Yeah, give me that stone. Okay, let's see. I've already got a good number of things, so I think this time I'm going to use the boon, and maybe I use that for double wood, then I do double wood, and the next turn I could do double wood again if I'm lucky. Or do I have enough ways to use my other actions? Because here, do I? So that would be 1, 2, and then what do I do with my other 3? 4, 5, 3, 4. Oh, and then I've got 1 action wasted. That would be terrible. Unless I want to start going for the Sculptor's Workshop. I mean, is the Sculptor's Workshop worth it? It feels like it might be, especially if I'm getting 2 stone from here. Then I could get, yeah, I'm going to go for the Sculptor's Workshop. That's my plan for this turn. Okay, so 2 wood for boom. 2 more wood for boom. And then, oh wait, I just realized that had the stone, that was the 2 coins, that's the 2 wood. Stone, I do need the stone. That's, let me count, 1, 2, that's 2 actions. I definitely need that. 3. 4. Let's use the coin, the stone, rather than letting it go to waste. And then do I do 5 here or here? Let me do my 5th one here, because this at least gives me access to building a 1 wood section. So that is turn 4. 6 turns to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I'm feeling okay about this. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes, whether it rains or snows. 4 actions this turn, 2 sticks, 1 bit of food, and of course 1 wood, thanks to the stone cutter. 2, and 1 bit of... Okay, so I definitely need to do this. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1 down. You cannot rotate these shapes. So if you look, check here, it's like boop, 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 which equates to boop, 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 boop. And so I am going to use those 2 woods. It's not even a decision for me. Like, everything has been leading to this moment. Like, this is the... Finally, I'm able to... At the end of my turn, technically, I'm going to be able to make this shape, if you see, like that shape. And then I will increase this number to a 2, which is going to improve my engine building. So hooray. Anyway, so let me remember, I've done 1 action. So what am I doing next? Okay, I think I might actually need another boon, even though I was a bit down on it earlier, but yeah. I feel like do I want to access... Okay, so with... Hold on, let me think for a moment. With the food, I definitely want to use the food for here, so that's my second action. My food has gone. Third action, maybe the stone for the warehouses, because that is the only way I can currently use 1 stone. But I am going to be figuratively swimming in stone very soon, and that's my third action. And then 4th action, yep, I am indeed going to take that. Do I take... Yep, I am going to take the boon. And so do this sticks. And now, do I go here to help me yield more resources, or do I go here into the sculptor's workshop? Because that... If I'm going to go there, I feel like I should do that as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's a opportunity cost. So that's my 5th turn. I'm halfway through the game. Okay. Hey, saying that I did shenanigans. That is totally untrue. I did not do any shenanigans. Oh, so end of turn. I just managed to increase the stone cutter. Apparently, Alex is no longer called Alex. This is where it would actually be quite handy to have an automatic streaming thing. So, yeah, thanks to that, now I'm gaining 2 stone. Boom. Engine building. Okay. Double food, coin, and of course 2 stone, thanks to my amazing stone cutter. Okay, I think I want to use that and 1 action to go here, which would only give me 2 food, which would mean that I don't have any other actions unless I use the ally to go up here, which I think is what I'm going to do. So I will, yeah, that was 1 action for double stone up here. 1 action, no, 2 actions for the food to be toop. That's 3 actions. 4 actions for the wild card to cross off that. And in 5 actions using the ally, I've managed to cross that off. And boom, I have the sculptor's workshop. And now every time, as long as I'm spending at least 3 stone, which as you can see, all of these require at least 3 stone. So potentially I might be gaining 1, 2, 3, 4. It kind of almost doesn't feel worth it. Maybe I made a bad choice, but hey, yeah, I probably should have gone with, I don't know. I've done that now. Okay, no time for regrets. I'm regretting it, but yeah, no time for regrets, in theory. Whoops. Okay, so this is turn 7. Only 4 turns left. And yeah. I mean, talking about this stream, like, so apparently Alex is named Herbert. And yep. Okay, fine. I'll hold my hand up as well. And only one person. Hey, there's Delilah. Okay. There's a lot of. Wait. Oof. Nice. I got a stone, and of course the 2 stones from my stone cutter. Boom. And of course the 2 woods from my dice. And I have 4 actions. As is this. Just so you know, by the way, there are 4 faces of the die that says 4. So there's 4 is a lot more likely, but there is 1 5 and 1 3. So it's just there to give it a little spice and fury. So that's just the way it goes. Anyway, so I want to be thinking about the engineers, building up these, maybe getting them all the way if I can. I want to be thinking about, okay, 1 action. I'm definitely going to be doing this. And I get 1 point. So keep a track of it. That was 1 action. I used all those stones. And I got my 1 point. Now, what am I going to do with my other 3 actions? Well, I'll take my 2 wood. Oh, do I want to go up here? Because then I've got, feel like maybe a wood here, then an action, or maybe I do 3, 2, 3, 4 with a boon. So I could, yep, I feel like that is the natural way to do it. So 2, that uses that, and 3, get the boon, and 4, an action there. So now I have access to both of these spaces. And that was turn 7. So only 3 turns left in the game. Okay. 4 actions again. Stone, wood, food. Oh, wood, food, coin. I'm saying the wrong words. Ignore what I said a minute ago. This is clearly wood. This is clearly food. This is clearly coin. And I clearly get 2 stone. So stone, double stone, wood, food, and a little mark to remind me that I've gotten the wild card. Oof, okay. So I do have access to 3 stone again. So I could get another of those victory points. I could also, I do feel like I want to build up here and then use my yield, and maybe even a couple of times in the last 2 turns to literally yield a whole chunk of stuff and really go up here. So maybe I ignore that bit up there. And remember, I don't need to build here. I could build here. So I could go 1, 2, 3 potentially. It's like, is it worth doing this? And this kind of gives you fewer points until, yeah. Oh my gosh, I need to have a wee drink of water and also a drink of, this is some special fruit juice with flax seeds and all sorts of fancy stuff. So now, okay, let's ponder. What do I do? This food going here, that would be the obvious move. This gives me options. That's nice. This wood, where do I use that wood? Well, that's an obvious place to use the wood. I don't want to build these buildings. That's just, with only 2 turns left, there's no point in going here, I don't think. I'm just going to double check how many things I can build at one time. There's also, oh, you can create a single settlement. So I should have, yeah, lost. So I'm only meant to create one of these per turn. I think I made a mistake and I was doing it all at the end of the game. So I'd already done that. So I'm going to do a tiny takesy backsy and say that at the end of my last turn, I did that thing. So that just gives me 4 points at the end. But okay, so I'm doing that for sure, I think. I think I really want to get up this track, and with only 3 turns, it's like 1, 2, 3. How? Yeah, this is not going to be easy. Do I ignore this? Or do I go down here and then hope to come back up there? I think I'm going to use my free stone, using the wild card as a stone up there as my second action potentially. And then, but then what do I do with my remaining 2 actions? It feels like, unless I use maybe I should already use a yield. Maybe I use that to then go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I would get 4 thing, or maybe 4 gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would actually be pretty good. So if I use yield, choose a result on a resource dice, harvest this resource for free. So then I choose the wood and I go boop, 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 boop. So I've got 4 extra wood plus the 1 makes 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've spent those. 3 stone, spent those. And 1 food, I've spent that. And then at the end of my turn, I get to do 1 single building. And here. So I managed to build this for another 4 points. So now this is the penultimate turn. Penultimate turn. Everything's coming up Milton, says Idle Milton, formerly known as Idle Michael. Okay, so what have I got? I've got woody wood, foody stony stone, 4 actions. Okay, so do I want to go here? Because that would give me access to 5 stone potentially. And when I'm going to double check the timing of this, because would I be allowed to check this stone so I have access to here and then use the boon? Players can use the token ability at any time during, okay. So I could choose the yield. I think this might make sense. Let's think about this before I actually put it down. So if I were to go stony here, and then with the yield, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I would have 1 more stone from the stone cutter to give me a total of 8. So I could definitely go up both of these in the 1 turn, which is pretty good. But I also do want to, yeah, that would go 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, and then I really, really want to, yeah, get another little square. Okay, but maybe I still do that, even though I feel like I'm... No, I've got to use the sticks. I've got to use the sticks. I feel like I do. Okay, so, but maybe I use the sticks instead of the stone. Ah. And maybe I use, so that could be 1 action here. Potentially a second action there just to get 4 points. Or do I want to make sure that I use a food here and then double stone here and stone here to make sure that I but then that's a lot of actions. That's 1, 2, 3 actions. That's more than I have space for. So maybe, oh my gosh, oh, this is getting intense. This is, I don't think this is going to be my best scoring game, and I think I might have been playing it slightly wrongly before, because you can only corner one thing off at a time. And I think that in at least one previous game where I showed higher scores, I was doing it all at the end, which I think is completely wrong. So, freestone, which I could have access to, 2 wood, which I can't do both of those unless I go all in and just go stony, woody, and yeah, like actually spend an action to do a harvest. Because let's say I spend a stone here and then I spend an action to get even more stone. I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do that. Is it worth it? Oh shit, I think I forgot to give myself the points. But okay, so I'm going to do that. In the absence of any better ideas, I'm going to go 1 stone, 1 action, and then second action is harvest, and I will harvest this. How many do I have left? 2, so I only need 1. Okay, 2, 3, and that gives me a point, and then 4 to take some wood, and 5 using the ally to cross this off, which now gives me another building, which will be another 4 points at the end of the game. And that is the penultimate round, and now it's the final round. What did I say? Alex says, Bez, please, this is a family stream. Hovers over the ban timeout button. Did I say something that I shouldn't have? I'm sorry if I said something rude. Yeah. Okay, final round. Okay. Okay, I guess I am going. I've only got access to 3 stones. This is not good. So stony stone, coin, food, and wood. I do potentially have access to a lot more stuff. This doesn't feel like lighter. We can't time out Bez, says Xate, because Xate really wants to time me out, but yeah, they just haven't been able to make it happen. You need to send a feature request to Twitch or something. But yeah, how do I? Okay, I could get another 4 points here. That would give me 2 plus 4 is 6. This is the points where I'm just mathing it out. I could go for 2. That would be 2 actions. That I could get points here. I mean, could I get some more points doing it that way? I could harvest and do get, how many is that? 4. So with 2 actions, I get 4, but with I can't use the yield for stone, which is quite annoying, because yeah, I don't think you can just say, okay, I'm going to harvest this. I do like the fact that there's a coin here, because that kind of implies strongly to me that I can't just choose this as what am I harvesting. I'm going to harvest all the stone, which is really what I would want to do if I had rolled, a stone, but I hadn't. I haven't. Well, I have at some point, but not for this final round, which is just, oof. So, yeah, 2 stone, back to the point. So I could go 1, 2, for 4 points here, and I could go 1, 2 for 6 points here, and then I could have 1 extra action. And what do I do with my last ever action? Oof, my last ever action. I can't even see a way to use it profitably. This is not good times. I mean, I guess if I haven't used my stick, I might as well get the 1 little point there. Okay, in the absence of anything else to do, I will 1, 2, oh yeah, I can't use the yield. I'm using the ally instead. 3, 4, and with my ally, I go 5, and that is the end of the game. And now we count up. So you look at the and at the end, and make sure I remember to actually. I'm sure I missed at least one, but 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So I'm going to be getting 16 points for this one. And I'm going to be getting 4 points because I crossed off all 4 of these buildings. So that's another 4 points. So that's 23. That's nice. And so we've got 19, 14, 6, and 7 makes 2. And that is 23. So 30, 36, 40, 50, 69. 69. And that was adventure number 9. So 69. Oh, I am apparently a duke. So close to being a king, but not quite good enough. If only I had had 1 more point, I would have gained the next ranking, as you can see. So that is the way that that game worked. And so, yeah. And 8. What could I have done differently? How could I have gotten that other point? So looking back at it, I mean, ignoring these, I definitely maybe I could have. Should I have done that, or should I have? Yeah, it's always. I don't. This is a thing about this game. Okay. And okay, so Michael says, I like how this played out, but I think I'd sooner rather grab the app. I definitely like the notion of, okay, I'm going to have a bit of music. I'm not going to look at the screen. I'm going to actually write it with pen and paper. I do like that. Let me put the top on this pencil. I like this fact, and I like the fact that next time I'm going to have be thinking about, okay, what will I do here? Like there's lots of resources, there's different shapes, and you get 5 for each of them. And then there's something where, let me actually make them equal distance, where you can trade wood for 2 wood. I mean, that's an interesting thing. If at least 2 resource dice show the same results, gain an action. Spend And so, like, you see, it almost plays more with the randomness as you go through the adventure mode. Spend a coin. Again, the only way to get the coin is to roll it randomly to spend 3 different resources to gain 2. I mean, is that telling me that I assume that means as long as I spend 3 different resources that turn, or do I need to spend them in exchange just for the 2 victory points and nothing else? I would have to double check that one. I like the notion of kind of just working through it, and you've got sorts of, yeah, you're checking out these different things, and then it's like, okay, this time it seems to be, oh, each imperial space is worth +4, so if you get to the yellows, then you're getting +4. And then later on, oh wow, you're getting a lot of stuff for food, which might mean that you don't want to go here. And you need to make, and it's all about how you fit these different shapes into your village. And towards the end, wow, that's a crazy shape. Don't know if you can see that little shape that you have to create. And if all resource dice show the same results, gain 1 person. And yeah, I don't know, this kind of building where it's just, oh, random windfall. I don't know, mate. I don't get, when I'm taking the time to roll and kind of ponder things, I feel like I would personally rather have a little bit more control. I liked playing Energy Empire solo once, kind of going through it, and it's like, okay, I'm learning the game and trying to work out what I'm doing. I feel like I'm not going to say I don't enjoy this. Like, there's definitely some enjoyment. Is it the game that... Why am I carrying on playing it? It's purely because of the variety. It's purely because of what Ignacy Trzewiczek did with every single sheet having new setup of buildings. But, I mean, this feels definitely really good. It feels like more than what most people have done in a typical roll and write. I mean, typically it's just everyone's got, every sheet is the same. It's like, you know, if the solo mode was just another whole bunch of these. But actually then having, you know, all these new things to think about, it means that you're not always playing the same thing. It's not always, okay, I'm just playing it until I get lucky. It's a little bit of luck. It's also a little bit of how do you ponder that particular thing. In a way, the comparison to previous scores is an odd one, because I got 69 points for that one. Now, I do kind of feel like I got 70, just because I feel like there was at least one that I missed. But whatever the score is, I scored better on some of the previous ones. Does that mean that I played worse for the buildings? Does it mean that I wasn't as lucky with what I rolled? But now, yeah, maybe I just wasn't as good at pondering my strategy wasn't as good for this thing, for this particular sheet. And so it's like, I can't really compare this to my previous thing. It feels like comparing your own personal high score, for me, that has more value when it's approximately the same. Like when I play, I don't know, it feels like, I don't know, maybe this is kind of, okay, it's not like it gets harder at the end. It's not like there's any progression. And it's not like, looking at the end, it's not like they're more complicated or they're doing fundamentally different things. They're all doing the same kinds of things. But yeah, maybe this is where the randomness is meant to come from. So if I compare it to Muckle or any of my own solitaire L-deck games, then it's like, okay, this time I got 30 points, this time I got 25 points. and maybe I did better, maybe I played better, maybe I made better decisions, but it's also about maybe the decisions that I happen to make just happen to work better for that instance of the game. And maybe that's fine. And it's like, what do you even want out of a solo game? Because frankly, this kind of comes down to what we even want out of a solo game. Because for me, it's a weird thing. Like, I don't tend to play solo games that much, and so having, okay, we all went through exactly the same random factors, and let's compare my scores to your scores. Okay, your strategy worked better for this particular instance of the game. I would like to have some comparison. If other people were playing at the same time with this exact sheet, and we said, okay, I managed to get 69, Alex managed to get 75, and Xate chose not to play, and Nicholas got I don't know. Well, like, then I'd be like, okay, I came second or I came third, and I'd kind of have, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll enjoy having that comparison, having that ranking. Sorry, that's what I meant to highlight. Is it's a wide variety of experiences I don't particularly enjoy. I mean, this is something that this feels, I am currently, it's like this definitely feels more involved than most roll and writes to me. And it feels like there's a little bit more going on. I'm actually, yeah, I guess you need to ponder things, you need to kind of plan out things, you need to ponder about what you're doing on future rounds. And yeah, I think I am enjoying it. I think that I am, parts of it is, yeah, it's that curiosity. It is that kind of, okay, I'm not expecting anything amazing, but there's a sense of familiarity that, okay, I know the rules, but there's a sense of curiosity of, okay, what comes up next? There's a sense of, okay, seeing what buildings are next, and, oh, what would come up next? So when building a construction, I may spend 1 wood less. Oh, that sounds fun. What is a construction? And then I need to double check some of these keywords. I do feel like some of these keywords could be, yeah, better. I looked up the rules on, is building I need to double check what exactly that means. I think that this is not a construction, but that would be what I'm guessing. Oh wow, in 2 sheets time it's going to be 6 points for every thing that you get that way, and I can get some wood. Oh, that would, I feel like this is a sheet that would be a bit easier to play. And gain 2 wood. Yeah, it's all about gaining this. Do this to, oh, that's an interesting one. Gain 1 money to build on your village sheet. Okay. And I worry that some of these things, as we go on, I worry that, yeah, there's a little bit, this is really cool. Itinerant priest. Use 1 additional favor token, so I could have gotten an extra resource and an extra worker. And then if I make this shape, I could use 2 extras, so I could use basically all 3. And if I make this, I can choose from all 5. I have to, I mean, when I'm playing alone, I tend to not bother with this dice. I tend to just do the, say it's always 4, because, look, if I got 3, I would be, in the final round, I would just feel annoyed. And if I get 5, then I'm just feeling annoyed. Like, guilty, like I didn't really earn the points that I got. And honestly, if I get 3-5 rather than a consistent 4, it is messing it up. So, I mean, statistically, it would be mostly 4s with 1 or 2 3s or 5s. And I tend, after my first game, so sheet 2 to 8, I want to say, I just didn't bother with the dice. It's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to blether about what I think of it, but I think, yeah, feel free to ask me any questions. That's my wrap up. And bye, Michael. It is. Well, I thought you only stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I hope you have a good one. And yeah, so if anyone, so let me recap and do. Recap. We are going to recap as we start to discuss this map, which I worked on with paper and a pen. And you all watched me, my friends. And if you have any questions, then now is the situation that you can ask your questions. Yeah, it was alright. It was, it's, as a solo game, I think it works fine. I will definitely play it a couple of times in multiplayer mode just to try it out. I don't. Will I be taking it to Thailand? You know what? I was actually thinking that I was going to finish all 48 before I went to Thailand. I mean, it's like spend a couple of days, spend 1 week, and I could make it all the way through all this sheet. That feels like, have I played it multiplayer before? No, I haven't. You know what? Would I take it to Thailand? Like, the box feels a little bit big for what it is. I'm just going to pack it up. It's a tiny bit big. I mean, it's not that big. It could... Yeah, it's a reasonable size. I mean, I'm not going to begrudge them this. I could definitely fit a few more things in here. Could probably, I don't know, fit a deck of cards. Yep. Could probably fit a few decks of cards. Let's see. Yep, that definitely at least 1, 2, and if I can fit another one here and another one here, yeah, you could definitely fit at least 3 more decks of cards. 4. Yep, 4 more decks of cards. 5 more decks. You could definitely... Wait. Yeah, I think you could fit 5 more decks of cards in this box. So in terms of how much air there is, it's not too bad. And how much am I taking in total to Thailand? How many games am I taking? Oh, if I don't know, I might take... I'll really have to ponder. This is something I really have to ponder. Some friends who brought games from Alaska to the UK just put everything in freezer bags, no boxes, very space efficient. That sounds reasonable. That sounds like a nice thing to do. I mean, it is a decent box. Having said that, once I've finished with the single player game, I like the fact that there's 48 sheets here, and there's 48 sheets for the multiplayer thing, and there's 96 here. So there's enough to play it a good number of times. And if you played 48 times, I mean, let's be honest, that you've definitely got your money's worth. I feel like this would be really nice if, like, as the next step, honestly, like, I feel like Ignacy Trzewiczek's really struck onto something with having unique sheets for every game. I feel like what would be the nice next step would be like if there was some narrative, like if it was, okay, let's imbue this with some narrative and let's have a bit more variance. Let's kind of think about the structure of these things. But the truth is that I would be surprised if many people actually make it all the way through all 48 things. Like, I would be interested to know actually how many people have done that. And so for that reason, you know, when it's going to come to develop stuff, yeah. Xate says once was enough plays, and Alex says talking about transporting games, you can nest game boxes and consolidate components to maximize stuff. The puzzle when you get home of returning things to the right games is fun. Post-it notes inside baggies. Yep, that's a good system. You know, it's, yeah, maybe I will do at some point some insane 24-hour stream where I just play through all of them. I mean, one game took me about an hour because of chat, and yeah, I wonder if Michael could get me set up with one of those sweet thingies where it goes up, or yeah, people who are watching after the fact just need to be aware that there's a chat and that you don't get to see it. And so yeah, there's a whole chat going on Twitch, and if you're not there at the time, then sorry, I kind of respond to some people and sometimes it doesn't make sense. I really don't have much to say about this game. I don't want to say anything more about it. I feel like it's okay, I'll just leave it here, but yeah, it's a perfectly good game. And let's if you want to find out more about me, but yeah, I never recapped, really, did I? I guess I played a game and I scored 69 points and I felt okay about it. And I didn't feel that much. I felt a tiny bit of emotional reactions occasionally. I felt marginally excited at one point, I remember, because of the dice. Yeah, it was nice. So it's pleasant. It's pleasant. And I like the physicality. I would not play this online, but with the physicality, it's nice, it's pleasant. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Check me out on stuffbez.com, stuffabez.bigcartel.com if you want to buy my games, although it's print and play versions only of Kitty Cataclysm or the L deck because of out of stock. Twitter.com/stuffabez, Instagram.com/stuffabez, Twitch.tv/stuffabez every day at 10 a.m. UK time, and youtube.com/stuffbabez and stuffabez.com/discord. You know what? I would like to get back to that whole recap and say, yeah, how did you enjoy this? How was it watching? Let me know, because this is the first ever Let's Play I've done. And so this is the first time. And thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone popping in, because at the start, for a few minutes, I thought, oh, no one's going to come here. And then I was a bit sad. And then Xate and Alex and Michael and everyone popped in, and it was lovely. And so, yeah. Well, that's really lovely to hear. And so, yeah, would you like to see more things along this route? Because I am curious to try Clustered, which I have no idea what I'll think of it. I don't have and yeah, there's some other solo games. And would you like to see more kind of playthroughs of stuff? Would you like to would you like me to never do a playthrough again? I mean, I think, and if I am going to do playthroughs as a kind of, okay, you know what, I don't have anyone to join me this day, I'm going to play through something, how would you like me to change it? So, like, please, this is my moments where I ask you to give me feedback. So I guess Sates is saying that today we're completely ignoring the screen. And yeah, but on it, so I guess again, thank you everyone, and over to you. What are you up to? You can share anything if you want to. So, what would you like to share? Oh, Yellow Pigeon says you should absolutely play through games. It's a nice contrast to your talk show. Oh. So if you want to, I am going to be doing some work with Chris. I'm going to be doing a wee bits of writing. I'm going to try and write some rules books today. And then tomorrow I'm going to be chatting with Vince Vergonjon, the publisher, the person behind Zombie Tsunami, and also the owner of Lucky Duck Games, who published Chronicles of Crime, which is probably what they're best known for. And so, yeah, that will be tomorrow. And then Friday is the Friendly Friday Forum, which is just going to be chaos and anyone can join me. On Saturday, we will have Michael here. So, yep, that is that. What else am I looking forward to? I am actually feeling quite hungry. My tummy is pretty rumbly. So I'm going to go and have some solid food. And Hal says it was good to hear your thoughts about the game and how it played out after as well. And yeah, food is exciting stuff. Or are you talking about Vince coming on tomorrow? But either way, yep. Yeah, maybe I sorry about this. Maybe I should do some playthroughs occasionally of my own games, because I don't think I've ever really talked about Extendable, and Extendable is honestly my favorite solo game for the LDEC. Extendable, I just need to double check the rules, but it's been a while since I played it, but where you're extending your cards, and yeah, maybe I should alternate them. One time I do someone else's game, one time I do my own game, but mostly talk shows. And as you see, I have been doing a bunch of reviews every Sunday now, and Fridays are just okay. I'm not having anything scheduled. It's just going to be the same thing every week, except it's going to be totally different, because there will be different people coming and people say something. But basically, if I recognize your name, and then you can join me on screen. So Yellow Pigeon, I don't know your name, like your real life name, but if you're willing to share your name, and if you would like to join on screen, just to say, hey, this is me, and we can chat about stuff, like chat about what we've been playing. And in the absence of anything to do, I'll probably open a couple of boxes, because I've got multiple, I want to say 3 boxes that are in shrink wrap that I want to actually play. One of the games that I've got in shrink wrap was an unwanted present, so I'm going to sell it while still in shrink. So if someone wants Lost Cities, then oh, sorry, your name is Gold Duck. Oh, so you're moving into the duck, so that will be good for tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, if in the absence of anyone who has anything that they want to talk about, I will then say, well, thank you very much. Look here for my next streams. Please do share and spread the word. And I will go onto Twitch. If Michael is already streaming, then I guess I will pop in to see. Oh, I could go there, or Ashtray, or some music. And oh wow, I think Twitch has changed. I think now if you jump in, it kind of shows you all the old chats as well. That was fun. Have I been on Happy Meeple? I don't know. I've not. I don't see Happy Meeple going. So Let me just. It's like Board Game Arena, but they also have game AIs. That sounds fun. Also, my name is Philip, says Yellow Pigeon. Pleased to meet you. Yeah, it's a weird world where, what's his meeting? Okay, I wanted to watch Michael, but I can't because of adverts. Oh, I can't watch Lizzie because of adverts. See, this is... Man. They have Lost Cities and lots of other games. Yeah, Lost Cities is a really good game, but I just don't feel like I need the game. That's the truth. I'm not even going to open it. I have played it enough times to be like, yeah, I don't need Lost Cities. Look, I know... Yeah, I just don't need it. Let's raid Idle Michael. And I'm going to skedaddle. But, yeah. So I guess there's nothing that anyone else wants to say. So in that case, I will skedaddle. It just seems... It's amazing how time has changed so much. I used to claim that this was a 1-hour show, and now it's like, yeah, this is basically a 2-hour show. It's 100 to 120 minutes. And, just times have changed. It's more like 115 to 120 minutes. Or, if I'm being honest, 119 to 120 minutes. Anyway, so the only thing left to do, as always, is to say bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Do, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.